Hello, hello, and welcome everyone to the Powwow podcast. And today I have a very, very special guest. This is Kerry Craukamp. Hello, hello, and welcome. I got your name right this time.
Hi guys, hello, hello. Hi Ed.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks, and you? I can't complain.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Very excited for this. Just want to make sure I have the comments here. Awesome. So I just ahead of the 26-hour workout, I wanted to just get here to say a few words. Just let's just chat through Rett SA, what it's about, and just for anyone who's missed the overall message, I want them very plugged into what's going on. So, if you could just share us the details of like what's Rett SA, how long has it been a organization for, and just some of the details.
So Red SA came about in 2012. It was actually started by a group of four moms in Cape Town whose girls were diagnosed with Rett syndrome and they had nowhere to go with it. So it really wasn't a case of raising funds. It was more like raising awareness and obviously just having somewhere to go with what was wrong with their girls. And then it grew and it grew. And then the lady that was running it actually she immigrated to the UK, and then she approached myself. And then there's another mom, Dion, that co-runs Red SA with me. So we're growing every day. We've now gone from 4 girls to almost 46 in South
Wow.
Africa. Our biggest focus, obviously, is still raising awareness and trying to teach everybody about what Rett syndrome really is. And then, obviously, bringing in the fundraising aspect into it. You know, there are a lot of parents out there, a lot of moms and dads that are suffering, a lot of girls that go without the essentials of life nappies, medication, food. Sometimes it's really difficult for those parents, to get to buy. And then obviously just the biggest thing is having support. It's a very, very lonely road with walking with a special needs child. Sometimes your family sticks around, and sometimes we have a lot of family members that don't stick around, and those people are very,
Mm-hmm.
very isolated. So our big focus at Red SA obviously is to try and have a community that stands by each other and have family members that have somewhere to go with their emotions, with their struggles. And then obviously we try to help them financially to survive this horrible thing that our girls have got.
That is actually incredible, how it started. But tell me, for those of us who don't know, like, what is Rett syndrome exactly? Like, how does it go about? How is it diagnosed? And what are the implications of it?
So it's actually it really doesn't get diagnosed, and I think that's the big thing. So it's a neurodevelopmental disorder. So it affects the brain. So to get into the nitty gritty of it, our girls are born normal functioning. It's not the kind of syndrome that you go, oh, I'm going to go and run these tests, to go and see that if my child has this thing, like Down syndrome, you'd be tested for, and it gets tested in those 1,200 vials of blood that they draw when you're pregnant,
Mm.
So the girls are born normal functioning. They are normal, they're able bodied. A lot of our girls walk, a lot of our girls talk, they go to nursery school, they're counting, and then they start to regress and they actually start to lose those functions that they've acquired. A lot of them stop walking completely and are confined to wheelchairs for the rest of their lives. A lot of the girls stop talking, they end up with epilepsy, there's a heart condition that's attached to bone density, scoliosis, constipation, all it's really, really a diverse syndrome. There are a lot of ailments, there are a lot of things that our parents struggle with. And obviously just the loss. Having an able-bodied, normal functioning child and then losing everything and having nothing. Imagine having your little girl walking around, talking, playing, singing, and then the next minute she has no ability to talk. What would it be like to not have your daughter say, hello, mommy, or help me, daddy, or I am sick, or I am angry, even, so just
Mm.
it's the simple things that I find as a parent that I really struggle with. The loss is an everyday thing. It's not the case of, oh, well, my child's been diagnosed with Rett syndrome. Okay, well, tomorrow everything's cool. It's a
Yeah, of
it's
course.
a constant battle. It's an everyday thing. It's missing the milestones. It's how do you do? I'm a mom of a special needs child. I'm a mom of a sibling with a special needs sister. I'm a wife to a husband who has a special needs daughter. There are so many faces to having a child with a special needs, and nobody really, you don't really think about that. How do you deal with a child who has a sibling who has special needs? How does my husband feel every day when he has to deal with his daughter who doesn't function? What about my
Mm-hmm.
mother or my mother-in-law who has to deal now with the granddaughter who doesn't function? And there's just so many facets of having a child with special needs.
It really does impact like the entire family and everyone around them, really. And I can imagine it's an all hands on deck situation where a situation like that comes about. But at what age does it normally start to reveal itself?
So girls function normally from about birth to 10 to 18 months, and then they start with the regression phase. So you'll start seeing from anything from about 10 months. Oh, my daughter was crawling and now she's not, or she was making animal sounds and now she's not. And so every journey is very different. A lot of our girls get diagnosed very late in life. A lot of our girls get diagnosed early in life. Our journey was an interesting one. We were only diagnosed 2 days after Abigail's fourth birthday. But at 15 months, we realized that our child is not functioning properly. And we started the procedure of running all the tests and going to the neurologists and seeing the geneticist. And we sent bloods to Wessex, and nobody could give us any answers. And it took a really, really special doctor 5 minutes to say, hey, but I think this is what's happening. And then the ball started to roll really, really quickly. So it's just, everybody has that shoe, to say proverbially, but everybody's shoe is a different color. Everybody's shoe is a different size. Everybody's journey is different. My child is different to Dion's child. Dion's child is different to Kim's child, for instance, to say. You have an atypical Rett child and you have a typical Rett child. So Abigail falls into the atypical Rett's. So she's preserved speech. When we saw the geneticist, they said, your child will probably never walk. She will probably never talk. She will probably never use her hands. And she's never going to function in society. And that you need to just accept. I have my child walking, but then you will have a little girl who will never walk, who will be confined to a wheelchair for the rest of her life. So this, like again, I said to you, the spectrum is very diverse. It's very difficult to say. Our children, every single one of them, are very, very different, yet very much the same.
It's quite a debilitating syndrome. That it's very, very all consuming. Have they discovered what the underlying cause is, what risk factors one might have, or is it like a luck of the draw type situation?
So it's not a genetic thing. Look who's coming to visit. Sorry, give me a second. She's popping her head in.
Coming in.
So, hello everybody. My name's Abby.
Hey there. Hello.
She's coming for a cuddle. Come.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's sweet.
if you can just give me 2 seconds. I don't have a helper. I just want to
Please take your time. Take your time.
move her along so that we can have 5 minutes of peace and quiet.
That's okay. While you're doing that, I'm gonna
so
say hello to everyone on the stream right now. We have quite a few people watching. We have Carla is here. We have Lauren. We have Auntie Pat, Lisa. Hello. We have Joyce. Hello. Joyce says you're her superwoman, which is quite sweet. And we have a really good question from Julie Huddy. She's asking, how do you feel? Like, what's the toll this has taken on you? How do you cope day to day? Like, what's your part of the story?
It's tough. Every day is a different day. Some days are good. Some days are very hard. There's a lot of emotion involved. And a lot of the girls will tell you that I'm very real. I refuse to hide Abigail from the world. I also don't hide my emotion. I think sometimes people think that I'm a little bit off the charts, but I'm not prepared to hide my journey from everyone. And I think if I can help one mom or one family survive the day, or one mom realize that she's not alone or they're not alone, and it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to cry, and it's okay to hate Rett, and then then it is what it is. For lack of a better word, some days is It's a shit show. You know, every day is different. Every day is an adventure. I very much hate it when people say shame. I'm sorry. I'm very much a big believer in my journey is not any harder than your journey. It's just different. So
Mm,
I hate that the pity aspect of it. I'm okay to take the love and to take the support and to take the help. And there are a lot of days that I cry. There are a lot of days that I get up and I think, I don't actually want to do this day today. I don't want to do this again. I don't want to watch my little girl struggle again. I hate the tough days. But she also gives us a lot. We've learned a lot to appreciate the little things in life. On the days where she's taken her own shoes off or she's taken herself to the toilet, there's so many little wins that the average parent takes for granted.
mm.
And my husband will always say, you have the most ridiculous sense of humor, because Abigail will color circles on her wall and I'll go, woohoo, Abigail's coloring her wall in. And people will go, have you lost your mind? And I was like, but they told me my child would never be able to use her hands. And here she is coloring in my walls. It's a win. Um, my child's running down the passage naked. Oh my God, kill me. But that is a win because she's taken off her own clothes. Things the doctor said to me she would never do. Do you understand? So it's not an easy road, but it's not always a bad road. There really are a lot of positives, and she loves to hug and cuddle, and I get affection from her all the time, and she really teaches us every day to appreciate the little things in life. The fact that we can get up and we can walk, the fact that we can get up and ride a bicycle, the fact that we can get up and be angry and voice that anger. She doesn't have that tool set, you know. And it takes its toll. It takes its toll on your marriage. It takes its toll on you as a person. It takes
Mm.
its toll on you as a daughter, because my poor mother, I cry to her all the time, and I think sometimes she just thinks I actually just can't deal with you again. I often think, dear Lord, can you imagine if I was a twin? Like I always tease her. So it's tough. It is tough.
No.
Being a parent is tough. There's no manual for being a parent, and there's sure as hell no manual for being a parent with a special needs child. But it's not any harder than anybody else's journey. It's just different.
No, that is absolutely beautiful, and just the perspective that you've taken on it is I think it's a really powerful one. That's really because a lot of people would be tempted to wallow in self pity. They would be tempted to let this overtake them, and the fact that you're choosing to look at the positive aspects of it, the small little wins, is actually quite powerful. But tell us more about Abby. Like, what does she enjoy? What kind of kid is she like, despite this syndrome she has now? Like, what are some of the things that make her uniquely her?
So, like I said to you, she loves to be around people. I think that is her biggest thing. When we first started looking to see what was going on, they benchmarked her under the autistic spectrum, and I couldn't understand why, because she loves to socialize. She loves Sophia the first. So Princess Sophia is absolutely her absolute favorite thing to watch. She loves to have Sophia on her body, so we print her Sophia shirts. But every
Oh,
day she surprises us with something new. We try as a family to include her in everything that we do. I know that with some children it's not always possible, but we're always up to all sorts of shenanigans with her. I never go, oh, my child's special needs, we can't do this. She's been to Mauritius, we put her on the paddle boat.
oh,
I've had her on a sup. I've had her on the glass bottom boat. We put her in the canoe. From December, we took her zip lining. that was quite a
oh, okay.
that was quite an interesting thing. She definitely did not enjoy it, but we tried. We took her along. We never left her behind. We've taken
Mm,
her quad biking. She loves to swim. I have Abigail 100% water safe. I can throw her in the deep end without water wings, and she'll swim the whole swimming pool for you. And that was
brilliant.
something that we never thought we would achieve with her. So As a family, we do our absolute best to include her in everything. I do my best to teach the world that just because she's non-functioning doesn't mean that she must be left out. And that is a very, very difficult thing. The world is a very judgmental place. I've had people stare at me. I've had people make remarks behind my back. I've had people actually physically stop and stand and stare at my child while she was having a meltdown, throwing herself on the floor. I've had to learn to be very tough. I'm also a very tough mom on her. I don't believe that, oh, shame, she's special needs, that she shouldn't get a hiding, because she does get a hiding, or that I should give in to her every need, because I do not. I allow her to do her thing, and I do the best I can to parent her differently. And I think that's also why she's so flexible, and she's quite happy to try different things, because I never go, oh, well, you can't. Oh, well, the doctor said she'll never walk, so let's just put her in a wheelchair and leave her. We walk her, some days 2 kilometers around the block, screaming and shouting because her body is in pain, but we push her. And I think that is also why the 26-hour workout is so important. And for me, it's a huge thing, because those girls push themselves to the max every day. I physiotherapy with Abigail twice a week. She sees the occupational therapist twice a week. She goes to speech therapy twice a week. We push every single day. Every day is a fight. The walking, the frustration that she feels, the hurt and the anger, and just the perseverance. And she's just so brave. And I think that's what the 26-hour workout is for us, for us to push our bodies. This is my way of giving back to her, to say, I acknowledge that I push you every day, that I push your body every day, but I'm going to do it too. I'm going to give you that back. I'm going to push myself to show you that I'm honoring the amount of effort and time that you put in to be the best that Abigail can be.
That is. You gave me goosebumps just now. Actually, that is absolutely brilliant. And yeah, it's. We often take for granted how for some people every day can be a struggle, and we often don't realize what it takes to be in someone else's shoes. And now I like the analogy of you putting the 26-hour workout. It's our opportunity to get a glimpse into what a daily struggle would look like, what it feels like to be uncomfortable in your own body for a while, and then doing that as dedication to Abby and people like her. So I want to give you the opportunity to tell us more about Rett SA. Like how can we get behind Rett SA? What are some of the things we can do? How can we donate? How can we do more to raise awareness?
So I think we're doing it already. For me, what you as Jeff and at the community are giving us is that when our people go to the doctor, when our families go and see the doctor doesn't go, I can't help your child. I don't know what Rett syndrome is. I have been chased away countless times, countless, because I have to explain to the doctor what is wrong with my child. I have to explain to the doctor, my child cannot have those medications that you've given her. So awareness is key here. I mean, obviously we need to help our families. There are so many families out there that girls have not been diagnosed. We are at 45 girls across South Africa. Think about that. 45 girls across South Africa. How many people are in South Africa and Africa alone? How many girls are getting abused? How many girls in the rural communities are getting locked up? How many girls are getting mistreated? How many girls have got Rett syndrome and whose parents have dumped them at an orphanage? We've had a case this week where a little girl got dumped at Tygerberg Hospital. Her parents couldn't deal with her. How many girls are there around our country that have Rett syndrome, and we can help? We can educate the parents. We can educate the siblings. And then there's obviously the need of finances. Abigail is in nappies, and she's not in children's nappies. She's in adult nappies. That costs a fortune. Abigail is on epilepsy medication every day of her life. Do you think that that's cheap? Hell no. You know, they have to have medicine for constipation because a lot of them, their bodies don't work, and because they're not moving, their bowels do not function properly. They
Mm.
need those kind of things. And then you are looking at equipment, standing frames, wheelchairs. How many of those little girls lie in bed all day long? Or they get propped up in the corner of the couch so that they can hold themselves up and their spines have curved because they have a big spine issue. You know, they get scoliosis, their bone density's not right. Some of our girls die because their hearts don't function properly. Some of our girls have seizures and never wake up. Some of our parents have girls have cluster seizures where they're having 12, 13, 14 seizures at a time. Um, you know, just to give you silly examples, Abigail fits 1 foot every 2 seconds, all day, every day, and she's treated. She is on epilepsy medication to treat those. What happens to the girls that are not treated?
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
so like I said, awareness is key, but funding is also key because there are so many girls that aren't medicated. There are so many girls that don't get help. There are so many girls that don't have nappies, whose parents can't afford to feed them. What about the girls who can't chew their own food and they need to be peg fed? I can go on about this for hours and hours about what our girls need. And you know, it's very difficult. So where do you draw the line? Do you help a family that needs food, or do you help a family that needs equipment? So we have a big need for all of that. And then what about support? What about emotional support? Emotional support costs money. Are those
Mm.
parents getting to see the psychiatrist? Is there a support system? Whose grandparents have stuck around? Whose husbands have stuck around? How many men walk out on their wives because their children are special needs? Thousands. How many families cannot deal with their children and dump them at a home? Even more frightening. You know, so there are a lot of things that we need assistance with. Like, again, I'm going to reiterate: awareness is key because we cannot find those children if nobody knows about them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, that's absolutely powerful stuff, and I'm glad that initiatives like this, you sharing your message, sharing your voice, and the 26-hour workout. I'm glad these platforms are starting to become a little bit more plentiful, and we can, all of us watching now can help spread awareness to the cause. So in your closing statements, what would you like each and every one of us watching now? What would you like? What are your closing words to us?
I think my biggest thing is don't judge. You know, as a special needs mom, so many of our families hide their girls away from society.
Keep going.
Okay, cool. And I think before you pass judgment and before you shake your head and you think that mother doesn't know what she's doing with her child, think about what that mother is going through. Think about maybe that child is not 100%. And instead of making the judgment or passing the judgment, put out your hand in help and ask. You know, I have a lot of people who go, I don't know what to say to a mother who has a child with special needs, but you'll quite gladly walk past and stare. Do not stare, rather ask. I'm maybe not everybody, but I am the kind of mother who will rather say, my child has Rett syndrome. Would you like to know what is wrong with her? Instead of saying, don't stare at that little girl. It's not nice. And I think as a person, I think if we could teach society as a whole to be kinder, to be more accepting, I think life would be a lot easier for a lot of the families who do not want to take their children out in society, who hide their children from the world because they don't deserve to be hidden from the world. They deserve to experience life and experience the joy that we as able-bodied people experience every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm encouraging everyone who is here now. Tell a friend, join a 26-hour workout, get behind this cause, donate to the cause, and just help spread awareness that this syndrome exists. It's affecting people who are closest to us. It's affecting people all around us. And just get involved, just spreading the message, being kinder, and just reminding ourselves that all of these people are people as well, and they deserve the same love and respect that we all do. Kerry, I want to
Absolutely.
thank you so much for coming on and sharing your message. This is absolutely awesome. Really looking forward to seeing you and being with you at the 26-hour workout. I think that's going to be absolutely amazing. And I'm looking forward to the whole community rallying behind this cause, because we couldn't have thought of a better, more deserving cause than Rett said.
Thanks. We really super excited. And guys, please pledge your hours, make your donations. If you're in Cape Town, come and say hi. Come and catch a snuggle from Abigail because it's her best. We're super excited to meet everybody. Thank you to everybody for all that they're doing. And yeah, just lots of love to you all.
Hundreds. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Kerry, thank you so much. And we will see all of you very, very soon. Go ahead and have a fantastic day. See you at the 26-hour workout.